Okay, guys. So today we start with a fresh topic, called Git system. Okay, before that, we'll talk about what exactly the one control system and why we need that. Okay, and what are the folder systems that those are available for the Git. Okay, and then different Git software, Git tools, those are available in the market today. So that will be the agenda for today. And before that, I assume that you all of have your GitHub account. If not, I will also help you to create that. Okay. Okay. So you share my screen. Just let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So okay. So Git comes into the picture when we talk about how the SDLC works. I hope you all know SDLC. It basically means software development life cycle. Okay, and that is basically a complete, methodology where we start with the idea, we write the code, we develop the code, we test the code, and then we deploy the code. Okay, so that is known as the SDLC, software development life cycle. But when we develop the application, there are lots of other developers are involved. Okay, like no, not a single developer can develop the application. So there are multiple dev team or dev team members or developers are involved in writing a code. So let's assume that we have this application, we are developing this application. Okay. Now to develop this application, there could be multiple developers working on this application. Okay, I will name them D1, D2, D3, and D4, and D5, and D6. So all they are working on this application and they are contributing in their way, like, assume if we are developing an e-commerce application, then this developer will write the logic for, so that users can register to the application or they can log in or they can set their password, basically the authentication module. Then developer two can work on the inventory management, like how user will be searching on the application, how user will be filtering on that application. Okay, that module this developer two will be writing, and the third developer, he or she can write the logic to place the order, like how you can place the order, how you can see your old orders and everything. And the developer four can work on the tracking functionality. Then of course, if the order you have placed, uh, you can check its status, like where it has reached. Then maybe developer 5 and developer 6 can work on to providing support to the users, like writing, let's say review or anything, or, branding or promotion, anything. But all of these developers work is distributed among them. So that's how each of the developer will contribute to. So, but if there is no Git, then they all will be working on same application and same environment. In that case, if all are working in the same environment, then there could be a situation of chaos, that there could be some interference from the developer to their works. Like if let's say there is a file that is needed by developer one, he is working on it, but similarly that file is also needed by developer two. So he will also need that file. So in that case, there could be some kind of conflicts. So to avoid that, Git comes into the picture. Before Git, what we were using, like we were using in a manual ways to to work parallelly. Let's say if I am working, I have my computer, I have copy of all my files, and I am working on it. Other user have copy of all the code, and he is working on it. Once our things are done, then we will manually merge our code. The line by line we will take from my system and we will put into a central system. But nowadays, nothing is happening manual. Instead, everything has been moved to the automation. So Git came into the picture. So how Git works? So in Git, okay, we develop, no, we have a branch. Okay, in the Git, we use the concept of branching. The branches are nothing just the parallel development spaces. So if you assume a tree, so in the tree there are lots of branches available. Even if you cut down a branch, it will not take down the tree. Okay, and also the branches, all the other branches have been formed from the trunk. Trunk is the main area of the tree. Correct? So in GitHub, we have a branch. Okay, let's say main or master. And whenever if any developer wants to do any changes or add any new feature, he or she can create his own new branch and then he can start working on it. That is not a parallel branch. So main is working fine. We don't need to change anything in the main. Instead, I have created a new branch, and this new branch I can name anything. It's completely my choice. Let's say I can say feature. Okay, so I can name it feature, and this developer one. These are let's say developer one or developer team one. So they are working on. Similarly, if other developer also want to work on it, they can also create their own branch. Okay, and let's say name it feature two. Okay, they are working on it. This is developer two. And once their work is done, they can merge their branches to the main. Okay, that's known as the merging. We'll show you guys, that's just a theoretical way. I will show you all these things in the real time, then you will get it more better. Okay, so yeah, that's how you can, we have a branch and we can create our own branch. We can do our changes in that and then we can merge it to the main. So all of our changes will be merged to the main. Same goes with the developer too. Okay, so that's how this this Git or Git branching works. Now, why we need Git? What are the uses of Git, or why it is very much popular and very difficult to replace? So assume nowadays the teams are working from different locations. Like let's say if this is an application and there are multiple teams are working, so they all are working from different let's say location. They are working from let's say India, and this team is working from let's say USA, and okay, this is working from let's say Australia. Okay, this is working from Canada. Okay, and let's say this is working from let's say Italy or whatever. So nowadays, that's the situation right now that all of the teams are from different countries, or let's say from different states. So in that case, there is no possibility of manually you can take the code from India team and then you can give it to USA team or like that. So instead, we need a central system, okay, a central server where we can put our code, where India team can also push their code, USA team can also push their code, and everybody can see who is working on what. So Git basically provides a facility to determine who is working on what. Okay, that's manually it's not possible. For example, if I show you, so let's say here if I have created a file, okay, let's say if I create the file here, demo file, okay, and inside this I can add some content. I this is a file. This is the first line. Okay, I saved it. Okay, I saved this file. So this file is now saved. Now we can get to know, okay, this file was last modified on 6th of May at 16:17. We can get to know. But let's say if I reopen this file, I this is second plus, and if I save it, it is saved. Now you see the time has been changed to 1618. And if I open, I can see there are two lines. Correct? But by seeing this file, I cannot determine who have written this line and at what time. Because by default, all the files in Windows or Linux shows the last modified time. They don't show the all of the modified time. But because let's say if we are changing a file, let's say 100 times a day, it will only show the last or latest updated time. It won't show you that what happened at what time, right? That I think you also know. So here comes the challenges because if all of the developers are working on same system and they are working on same file, and let's say if I change something in this file after me, somebody else changes on that file, and after that somebody else also did some changes. So at the end, it will be impossible to determine who has added what in this file. Okay, so that's actually the problem. That's why you cannot manage version control on the local environment or local workspaces. Basically, it means Windows or Linux. So that's why Git is important. In Git, whatever you change on a file, it show you all of those changes in the name of commits. We'll talk about that once we go to the hands-on. Before that, any question on this, guys? That what's the drawback that our normal computers cannot provide? Okay, if not, I will take it as a no that you don't have any questions. Okay, so that's also a major point of using GitHub. Okay, GitHub provides you the version control. It means you can create multiple versions of your application. Okay, it provides you tracking, means who is working on what, that we can check from GitHub. It provides this centralized server so that centrally you can keep all your code that can be accessed by any other members from anywhere. Okay, so it's globally available. Also, there are some other features that GitHub can be integrated with many other DevOps tools. Like you can integrate GitHub with Jenkins, you can integrate GitHub with Cloud, you can integrate GitHub with
Except
any.
one doubt. Is Git
Yeah, go ahead.
and Git
Can you repeat? I didn't get your question. Can you repeat the question?
is Git and GitHub same? Like
GitHub and GitHub CI.
no, is Git and GitHub same similar?
I would say yes. I will tell you what. Okay. So Git is a system. Okay. On Git only, there are other things have been created like GitHub, Bitbucket, and GitLab. It's like, if I say a car basically means having, four wheel, a wheel drive. Okay. So you cannot say, okay, Tata's car, Tata Indica is not a car or Toyota Innova is not a car. All of them are car only. It's just brands are different. Okay, same happen with that. All of these things, GitHub, Bitbucket, and GitLab all work on the Git system only, but they are from different companies. So Git is their base system. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, got it. Okay. So Git is a system or Git is a software, and GitHub, Bitbucket, and GitLab all of our have been built on GitHub, built on Git. Okay, they all work in the same way. Any more question, guys?
No.
Okay, if not, I will take it as a no. Okay, so yeah, I was talking on that GitHub also provides you a way to integrate your application with many DevOps tools. Like you can integrate GitHub with Jenkins, SonarQube, Docker, Kubernetes, Cloud, Terraform, any kind of thing. That's not possible in the local system. Okay, so that's also another benefit of using Git. Okay, so now I will take you to the hands-on screen page on GitHub. So this is my GitHub account. I have already set it up. If you don't have your account, you can just open this link github.com and there will be option to sign up. Okay. Is there anyone who already have any GitHub account? Anyone? Okay. If no, that's fine. But I can show you. Okay. So I will take it. I will go to new page, incognito. So once you open this github.com, you will see this kind of page. If you already have an account, that's fine. You can do sign in. If you don't have account on GitHub, just click on sign up. Now here you need to provide your email, then click on next. It will ask you other questions as well, like your preferences and your password, all the things you need to provide here. With that only your account will be created. Any question, guys? I hope you can try it.
Yeah, no questions.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm not going to create account because I already have it. So I'm going to use my existing account. This is my account. Now I'm going to walk you through how to work with this GitHub. So when you log into GitHub, you will see this kind of interface. Okay, where in the left side you can see all of your repositories. Okay, here you can see your setting page. Okay, from here you can create a new repository, or you can also import a repository from other version control systems. Okay, we'll talk about them. So first of all, when you create your account and you log into your account, you will see nothing here. So you need to create a new repository. Now, what's a repository? Let's talk about it. So GitHub.com is a version control provider, or Git provider. Here you can create repository, and each repository represents a new project. Okay, each repository represents a new project. So yeah, there is no limitation on the repositories. You can create n number of repositories as per your requirement. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to set up a repository. I have to click on this new button. So there are multiple ways to create a repository. First way, you can click on this new button, or you can click on this create new plus icon. You can click on new repository, or here both are the same. So let's click on this new. Okay. I will name it, let's say, email text. Then you need to provide a repository name. Okay. Whether it's available or not, it will show you at the bottom. Then you can provide some description of your repository, that why you are getting this repository. Although it's optional, but yeah, provide it so that it's the best practice actually. So repositories, in short, we also call the repo. Both are same. Okay, so we can provide a description, creating this repo for learning. Now, public and private. So there are two types available for a repository, either public or private. What's the difference? I hope you can assume by name. Public means the repository you create can be accessed by anyone in this world. Okay, I will show you example, don't worry. And public means you want to keep that repository private only so that only your team member or your organization can see it. Public repositories means anybody can see it. If I know your repository name, I can search on Google and I can see your code. So both of them have, their different pros and cons, and there are different use cases. So this public repository is used if you are working on, let's say, any public project or any your learning project or something, that even if somebody see the repository, that's fine, not an issue. But private repository is used by the organization so that they can keep their application data secure. Because even if they create their repository as public, then anybody can see their codes and they can use their companies. So if you are working for organization, you will always go with the private. If you are getting a repository for, let's say, any kind of learning or any kind of NGO or any data you are putting in the repository that should be globally available, then you can use it. Yeah, like, add a read. So what the readme file? The readme file is a text file in GitHub that you can use to provide a application documentation. We'll talk about it later. So that's fine. So essentially, we need to provide three details. First, our repository name. Second, a repository type. Okay. And third, that is also an option. You have to provide a description for your repository. These three things are you can provide to data. Okay. So I have created it. Now I will click on create purpose. Wait for it. Okay. So yeah, my repository has been created. You see github.com/DevOps Farmer and Inventec Git Learning. This is my repository. Now, if I go to my, here it is showing some commands that you can use to clone this repo into your local system. We will talk about it. Okay, so if I go to DevOps Farmer, if I click on repositories, I can see at the top Inventec Git Learning repository. Okay, so that's how you can create a repo. And from here, you can access all of your repos. And you see, right side showing the tag whether this repository is public or private. Okay, so let me delete this. If let's say sometimes you don't need a repository, you can delete it by going to settings. And at the bottom, you will find a danger zone. From here, you can delete. So from here, I can delete this repo or I can archive this repo. Archive means you don't need this repository at this moment. We may need it later on. So you are just archiving it. Okay, archived repo can later on can be restored. But if you delete your repository, you cannot come back. So I don't need this repository. So I will just delete this repository. Yeah. They ask you for a confirmation. That's time of authentication. Okay, so that repository is now gone. Your repository, DevOps, Farmer, Inventec, Git Learning was fully deleted. That's how you can create and delete the repository. Okay. Any question in this, guys? Okay, I will take it as a no. Now, let's say I will get a repository and then we will clone this repository to our local system and then we will do the push. So click on view. Again, I will make that page. In fact, okay, description, inputs. Public, and create. Again, I know I forgot to add any file here. Now in a repository, there are different ways to add a file. Okay, for in this file, in this repository. So first of all, if you already have a file in your system, you can upload it by clicking on this upload button, and then we can choose the file. And if we have any code here, we can we can upload it here. Let's see if I want to upload anything from here, I can upload it. Or if you don't want to upload and you want to create a file here itself, you can click on this create a new file, and then you can create a file. Here you need to give a file name. Let's say in the info, this is the name, and here you can add your file's content. Okay, once you have, you can type your code or logic anything here, and once you are done, you can commit the changes. You just click on this commit changes button, green button, and you can commit message. And here I can add to description about my commit. Anyway, I can leave it that time. I can commit the change. As soon as I commit, see, under this report showing a file, test file that is name. If you need to create more files, you can click on add file, then you can create a file or you can upload the files. Any question on this guy? Any question on repository creation?
Yes, while creating repository, we need to generate token, right?
What question?
Repository token.
Token, while creation, it is not required.
Okay.
If you are connecting to the repository and if you are pushing something, then you need to create a personal access token. That is what you are talking about?
Yes, I am attacking that only.
Okay, okay. No, no, we will discuss about it later. Okay. Personal
Oh,
access token is required once you are pushing something to your repository. As of
oh,
now, we are not pushing anything, we just created the repository.
okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay. So we know that under this repository you can do anything from here. Either you can add a file or you can create a new file or you can upload a file. But usually we don't do any changes directly from GitHub. What we do, we clone the repository into our computer first, then we do changes there and then we push it. Okay. So let's see how we can do that. So to go that, you need to go to your repository homepage. How a repository homepage looks like. github.com/ your username / your repository name. Okay, that will take you to your repository's homepage. Then you see there a green button. From here, you need to copy the repository URL. Now there are two URLs, HTTPS and SSH. Okay, let's forget about SSH as of now. Okay, we'll clone via HTTPS URL. Just click on the HTTPS tab and copy this button. So I can copy my URL from here. Okay, so you can copy the code. Okay, this is known as the web repository URL. Okay, so you have to copy it. Once it is copied, go to your working directory, like wherever you are working, wherever you put all your code and everything, just go to that directory and then open Git bash here. There is another tool, we require to connect, a remote repository with our computer. The tool name is, I will show you. Okay, so this is the URL. I can ping you in the chat box. So in this URL, you can download this Git client for your system. Either you are using Mac OS or Windows or Linux, whatever you are using. Just click on it and download and install. So Git bash basically help us to connect with remote repositories from our computer. So I have now installed already. So I just go to created. Become new and sorry, click on show more option. So you have to wherever folder you want to clone your repository, just go to that folder and right click on any white area. You click on show more options and git bash here. This is the Git terminal. Okay. Once you open this, it will show you like this. Now here you can clone your repositories. So to clone a repository, you need to use the command called git clone. So let's paste the URL. Make sure before you're hitting out, command is git space clone space the URL you copy. Okay. So that's the very first command, git clone and the repository URL. Sorry, I put a wrong URL here. So please copy that again. Git clone. Right. Take a moment. Okay. So I need to recopy. So I'll copy the URL. Copy the URL. Now git clone and paste that URL. Okay, as soon as I hit enter, it will create a folder here with the name of Inventec Training GitHub. Okay, so with this name, it will create a folder with this name, Inventec Git. Let's hit enter. Okay, so receiving object 100% done. Now if you go here, you see Inventec Git folder has been created. Now if you open, you can see that file that we just created. If you remember, we open it.
So one dot I have.
Yeah.
So git clone will clone the data, clone the file from GitHub to your local system.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Any more question, guys? So okay, this is the line I can see. So with that, we have successfully cloned the repository. Any question on this clone operation, guys? It is the simplest operation in GitHub. As the name says, cloning means making a local copy. Even whatever you do in this local copy, it won't affect on GitHub.
So can you explain this once again?
This one,
In
Git clone.
yeah.
Sure, sure. So git clone is a GitHub command that allows us to copy a remote repository into our working computer. See, the whole idea is we cannot directly work on GitHub. Means nobody will allow you to directly go to GitHub, open the file, go to your repository and change the file, add something or change something. That's not a good way. Instead, we should, if we have to do anything to change, then we need to first check whether there are some files available, and if you need them you can clone them. But after cloning, uh, now you can change the files in your system, so no need to change on direct GitHub. Okay, so now let me show you one more time how to clone it. So see, inventec git is there. I deleted it. Now I want to re-clone it. So to re-clone it, let's say I will also close it. So you have to go to that path where you want to create, where you want to clone the repo. So assume I want to clone my repo under desktop, work, and inventec training. So I will open a git bash here by clicking two more options. Some git bash. Now git clone. Okay, we need to put that URL. I hope you know, guys, how to copy the URL. You have to go to your repository and click on this green action again button and copy the HTTPS URL. SSURL I will show you later. Okay, it's saying 100 out of 100, 3 out of 3 done. It means our repository has been cloned. See, inventec git, and I can see the files here. Now is it clear, guys? Clone operation. Any question on this, guys? On git clone.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we have cloned it and we can see this repository here. Now, let's say I will show you something. Let's say if I go here and if I here create a new file. I will name this inventec file. this we invent second file. Okay, I will commit it. So now in invent git repository, there are two files. Okay. So first of all, let's try to understand the concept of remote and local. So remote repository means this github.com repo, and local repository means where you have flow. So this folder is known as the GitHub local repository. This means you're locally changing. So this is your local, and that www.github.com is the remote one, remote repository. Any question, guys? Local versus remote.
Not for this.
Okay. Now, if you see that on remote, we have total two files, inventec file and test file. But in our local, we have only one file, right? Why they in difference? So you need to use a command called git pull. Okay. Now, if I want to bring all those new changes here, I have to run a command called git pull. What this command will do, it will bring all of the changes from remote repository to local repository. I will show you right away in front of. Any
Sir,
question before that? Yeah.
I have a doubt. Yeah. So you're saying that Git clone and Git pull will both bring the files from GitHub to your local system. Then what is the difference between Git clone and Git pull? Is it that Git pull will only bring the latest files?
To git clone, we use only one time when we want to complete the entire repository.
Okay.
Okay. And git pull we use sometimes, not all of the time. So git pull is used to fetch the complete repository for one time. And see, every time you cannot do git clone. If you do git clone, it will throw error. So it say, hey, repository already exists. So git pull, what it will do? It will sync all of the latest changes from from remote to local. Any question, guys? So now I'm going to run the command git pull. We will see okay, not a repository because we are not into the repository. Repository is under inventec git. Okay, now I can do git pull. So as soon as I do git pull, you will see that there a new file will come. Okay, so let me show you side by side. As soon as we hit git pull, you see inventec file came up. And in the git pull also it will show you the message git pull remote. It connected with the remote, it counted the object, and then it pulled the object. See, it is saying one file change inventec file.txt. Any question, guys, on this?
Sir, I am trying this in my system, but I'm getting error. Fatal not a Git repository.
Any question, guys, on the git pull?
Yeah, sir, I'm trying Git pull and I'm giving the repository link. Then it is saying no, not a Git repository error.
Okay. So every time, Like what developers do on the daily basis, whenever they want to change anything in their code, the very first thing they do is that they do git pull. Why git pull? So that they can bring all of the new changes into their local repository. I feel ask me any question on git clone or git pull.
So git pull is to get a new file, right?
Git pull is to fetch the new changes into your local repository. While git clone is a one-time activity that we only perform when we want to clone the repository very first time.
So for example, if you made a change in a present file, will that change be affected in our, I mean, in this folder in our PC, local PC? Hello.
Yeah.
So my
Got it,
question
guys?
is, if
Yeah.
we
Go ahead.
make a change in a file, I mean in the GitHub file, will that change be affected in our local PC? I mean in this.
If you do git pull, then only it will come. If you don't do, then it by default it will not come automatically.
Automatically it will be updated.
No, it won't. It won't. You have to run git pull, then only that change will come here.
I mean,
Let me
if you
show
run
you.
a git pull,
Ah,
uh, the changes what we made in the test file, I mean, will that also be updated into our local PC?
yes, correct.
Okay,
Please show you one more example. So let's say this is the inventec git repo.
okay.
I will add one more file here. Demo2. Hi. If I just create a file, I do a commit.
So
Hit
also,
demo2. Yeah.
so also, can you make a change in, I mean, in any of the file,
Oh, yeah.
make a
That will
change?
also. Oh, okay. You got in that way. Yeah. It will also bring. Don't worry. Not only files. If any files have been changed, that will also bring up. Okay. Changes has been done. Now, see, by default, it won't. The changes won't come here. Even if I do, let's say, refresh, it is not showing anything here because I have not did the git pull. As soon as I do git pull, you see, it has pulled the demo file as well as changes from the test file.txt. Now, if I open test file, this is second line. You see it?
Okay, so got it.
Okay, got it?
Yes, I got it, got it.
Okay. Any more question, guys, on today's session? Today we started with Git and the benefits of using Gates and starting with Git, like getting the repository, setting up your account, and two basic operations, Git clone and Git pull. Tomorrow we will learn about Git push and SSH, okay, branches and all. Let me know if you have any more questions. We have 2-3 minutes. Also, from today onwards, we can share the recordings. Any question, guys?
So one question.
Yeah.
While using the git pull, I mean, we have to go to our, this repository, right?
Yes.
Uh, we have to go to CD to the
CD to the
name of our
repository.
repository.
Correct,
CD to the
correct,
repository. Okay.
correct, correct. Yeah, any more questions, guys?
No questions.
Okay, sure. Okay, then see you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.